Picture this. You're standing right in the middle of the grocery store aisle, just staring down a massive wall of packaged snacks, fresh fruits, and dairy products. And honestly, every single item seems to be shouting at you with different green packaging, pictures of idyllic little farms, and these bold, flashy claims. Well, it's completely overwhelming, right? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and demystify exactly what those USDA organic labels actually mean so you can shop with total confidence. It's kind of the ultimate question, isn't it? When you're holding two seemingly identical products, debating whether to spend that extra cash on the organic option, you're probably asking yourself, does this seal actually guarantee I'm getting healthier food? Well, today, we're going to finally clear up that confusion and look at exactly what you're paying for when you toss that organic item into your cart. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. First, decoding the organic program. Then the 4 organic categories, how certification is verified, debunking some major misconceptions, and finally, shopping smart for your health. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this first section, decoding the organic program. What does that baseline standard actually require? First and foremost, we have to understand that organic isn't just some clever marketing buzzword cooked up by an ad agency. The USDA Organic program is a highly rigorous certification system, fully managed by the United States Department of Agriculture. It establishes incredibly strict standards for exactly how our foods are grown, raised, processed, and handled. It's a verified, holistic system, meaning it's not just about that final apple you eat, it's about the very dirt it grew in. The whole shebang is designed from the ground up to promote environmental stewardship, support soil health, and really encourage sustainable agriculture. And to actually earn that certification, farms and producers have to follow some strict prohibitions. No way around it. They must avoid most synthetic pesticides and artificial fertilizers. Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are completely excluded, as are certain synthetic processing aids. And it doesn't just stop at plants either. Organic livestock have to follow strict animal welfare standards, like having year-round access to the outdoors. It's a comprehensive overhaul of standard agricultural practices. Moving on to Section 2, the 4 organic categories. Because here's the plot twist. Not all organic labels mean the exact same thing. We tend to look at the word organic as a simple yes or no binary, but in reality, there's a strict hierarchy at play here. Imagine comparing different boxes of cereal in the aisle. There's a legal matrix dictating exactly what manufacturers are legally allowed to print on their packaging. Requirements range from 100% all the way down to under 70%, and what they're allowed to display on the front of the box changes dramatically based on those exact percentages. Let's start at the very top tier, 100% organic. Products with this label contain absolutely nothing but certified organic ingredients and processing aids, literally 100%. This is the absolute highest level of organic certification available, and you'll typically only find this claim on things like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, certain single-ingredient foods, and pure organic juices. Now, what's really interesting is this 95% here. When you see this standard everyday organic label, the one with the familiar USDA seal we see on most packaged grocery foods, it actually allows for 5% of the ingredients to not be organic. That remaining 5% still has to meet approved USDA standards for sure, but it definitely highlights that standard organic doesn't strictly mean 100%. Dropping down another tier, we hit 70%. If a product contains at least 70% certified organic ingredients, which is super common for things like snack foods, multi-ingredient cereals, or granolas, they're allowed to say made with organic ingredients. However, they are strictly prohibited from using that visual USDA seal on the front of the package. And finally, if a product falls under that 70% threshold, manufacturers cannot make any broad organic claims on the packaging at all. The front of the box won't say organic anywhere. Instead, they're only allowed to quietly identify specific organic components hidden away in the ingredient list on the back. So, as you can see, it's a strict sliding scale of transparency. Section 3, how certification is verified. Let's look at the ongoing commitment behind that seal, because, let's be real, rules only matter if they're actively enforced. Earning this seal isn't just a one-and-done deal. Just imagine the mountain of paperwork. Operations have to maintain incredibly detailed daily production records, open their doors to surprise annual inspections, and pass rigorous compliance reviews. It's a continuous, relentless loop of monitoring to ensure constant transparency and accountability throughout the entire food supply chain. Section 4, debunking organic misconceptions. Time to separate myth from reality in the grocery aisle and bust some of the most common consumer assumptions. Okay, a huge portion of shoppers mistakenly believe that organic means completely pesticide-free. The reality? Well, organic farming is still farming. It heavily restricts synthetic chemicals, but farmers can, and absolutely do, use approved natural substances, things like copper sulfate or neem oil, to manage pests in crops. So it does not mean a total absence of all chemical treatments. And here's another major one. So many of us assume that the organic seal is basically a golden ticket guaranteeing more nutritious food. So the crucial point is this. The reality is that the nutritional differences between organic and conventional foods are often very, very modest. The USDA Organic seal primarily reflects production and farming practices, things like soil health and avoiding synthetic pesticides, not guaranteed nutritional superiority or specific health outcomes. Section 5. Shopping Smart for Health. Let's talk about how to actually use this knowledge on your next grocery run. Because even if it doesn't guarantee a massive boost in nutrition, the label absolutely matters. When you actively look for that seal and actually read those ingredient lists, you're directly supporting environmental sustainability. You're casting a vote to reduce synthetic pesticide use in our agriculture, and you're highlighting better animal welfare considerations. Understanding these values allows you to align your weekly purchases directly with what you personally care about. Ultimately, knowledge is your absolute best tool. Now that you understand the distinct, strict tiers of organic labeling, you can navigate those overwhelming supermarket shelves with real confidence. You know exactly when to look for the seal, when to check the text on the ingredient list, and how to compare products carefully to make sure you're getting exactly what you pay for. I want to leave you with this final, vital thought. Whether you choose organic, conventional, or a mix of both, a diet rich in whole, nutrient-dense foods remains the absolute foundation of good health. We've kind of got to stop obsessing solely over the labels on heavily processed foods and instead focus on a balanced diet of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and minimally processed ingredients. So next time you're standing in that aisle, ask yourself, are you buying this for the fancy label on the front or the actual ingredient? Picture this. You're standing right in the middle of the grocery store aisle.